County Wikclow landowner has won his case restricting two walkers from accessing his lands at Enniskerry.
Laws governing the area are hopelessly out of date.
Farmers have welcomed the ruling.
I'm delighted that the judge has ruled there's no public right-of-way on my property.
This is the Glencree Valley, and even on a misty day like today, it is absolutely beautiful. It's along for Dublin. It brings you up into the higher Wikclow Mountains. It's nearly all private land. It spawned 3 separate court cases.
There was no disputes really up until the late 1980s. The first major incident was in Enniskerry in 1987 when the public right-of-way to a local graveyard was blocked off. A number of local people held a protest walk.
Traditional paths that have been enjoyed by generations have been increasingly closed off and blocked to people like you and me.
No matter what provocation you come under, do not react to it and continue walking.
Take a look at this latest case concerning a route just up this laneway here. The man always believed there was a public right-of-way running along an old green road up at the top of this laneway here.
We tried to come up with compromise proposals, and the landowner in question broke off negotiations unilaterally and threatened us with High Court proceedings.
The area of rights-of-way is very outdated. The law related to it would be the Prescription of Ireland Act of 1859, and it could do with being updated greatly in order to deal with these issues, because it's an area where local people find themselves stopped from going over lands where they may have been able to use for hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years, and then all of a sudden someone buys the property and puts a stop to this traditional right of way, and then they have to go to court.
We are the only country in Europe without protection for public rights of way, so the burden has fallen on community groups and individuals like ourselves to try and protect what we know and what everybody knows to be traditional rights, traditional walking routes in the area. The county councils have the power to designate a place as a public right-of-way, and most of them don't want to know.
Look, for example, at the costs in the Lissadell case. €6.2 million on one single case. Do you wonder why local authorities won't protect public rights of way when they could be confronted with dozens of cases costing that kind of money?
It is so expensive because the law is extremely unclear. There's a few ways of looking at how to decide whether this right-of-way existed, and it involves a lot of evidence. A lot of things have to be taken into consideration, so it's not an easy one day in court. It can be weeks in court, and in most cases it ends up in the Supreme Court.
There's 2 ways you could approach this problem. The first and most intelligent one would be to do what the Scots have done and the Scandinavians have done. And that simply says that people who are conforming to a very, very strict set of rules and regulations can essentially go wherever they like in the countryside. The other alternative is to do what they've done in England and Wales, and that is to map and clearly describe every single right-of-way and protect it. Now that's very time-consuming, it's very expensive, but it would still be an awful lot better than what we have here at the moment.
The test for proving a public right-of-way in this judgment is set so high it would be virtually impossible to meet. And the net result of that would be that it would effectively, if the judgment wasn't appealed, it would effectively close off all public rights of way in Ireland that are not specifically dedicated in writing by a landowner.
Ordinary, decent citizens trying to protect the rights of the public to go for a walk in the countryside as a matter of right when they are behaving themselves face financial ruin or even worse. And that's what's happened in this particular case. An ordinary, decent man, a pensioner, a retired bus driver, faces potential financial ruin simply for saying what he believes to be true, that this is an old roadway and the public right of way.